lovely.
This edition of WeatherScope is sponsored by Iams Dog and Cat Foods. Good for life.
This is WeatherScope.
We're keeping track of ingredients coming together in the plains, and that could mean icy conditions tonight for some, with a late night snow expected in Chi-Town. Good morning and welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Vivian Brown.
Talking about my hometown.
Yeah, no.
30% chance until tonight, but tonight and tomorrow looks like a couple inches of snow for the windy city. I'm Marshall Seas. Many of you in the Northeast may be waking up to snow, but except for some pockets of lake enhancement, there should be little trouble getting around today. Just those favored snowbelt locations. Let's take a look at it. We've got one snowbelt location across Lake Ontario, and that's the reason for the lake advisories for the lee side of Lake Ontario. Lee side of Lake Erie, that affects Ashtabula, Lake, Geauga counties in Ohio, where we have lake effect snow advisories out. Also Cattaraugus and Chautauqua counties. And we've got some significant snow here. Ashtabula reported 6 inches, the town of Ashtabula, about 6 inches of snow overnight. More snow is expected, about 1 to 3 inches, and the advisories have been extended until later this afternoon. Elsewhere, mostly light snow here, some heavier snow just to the south of Lake Ontario. Rochester's reporting snow, so is Syracuse, Ithaca, and crossover through Massachusetts. Some very light snow across New Hampshire and Vermont right now. Don't be surprised in Boston today if you happen to see a flurry or two. We have that system out in the Maritimes, and it's deepening, getting stronger as it heads to the north, and it's wrapping around moisture, and winds out of the north-northwest are creating a trajectory such that you might see some ocean effect snow off the Gulf of Maine for Boston, but heavy snow out here in down East Maine. Possibility of 6 to 8 inches of snow because you're just in line of all that moisture being wrapped into the colder air around that storm system. There's the radar, shows the snow over around Syracuse, traveling the thruway today. Likely to see snow. Some of it will be heavy the closer to the lake effect snow belts that you get. And over around Benton Harbor, northward toward Traverse City, we have lake effect snows off of Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. Most of the snow has moved off the coast now, except if you check around Salisbury, Maryland, Pawtuxet, Maryland, getting some rain mixed with snow. Temperatures around 34, 35 degrees. Nation's capital's at 34. New York City's at 34. We have a stationary front draped over Florida. Means some clouds, maybe a sprinkle later this afternoon. Major problem in the southeast this morning is going to be fog if you're traveling Interstate 85 through South Carolina toward North Carolina, although visibilities have improved to a great extent over the last hour or so. Atlanta's 28 degrees, Charleston's 37, Raleigh, Durham 32 degrees. Viv?
Well, more rainy weather is ahead for the West Coast with another system poised to move in. Meanwhile, it's been a snowy night in the Sierra Nevada range. People heading home from Reno and the holiday weekend found it rough getting back. Late last night, nearly a foot of snow clogged up roadways in much of the Sierra range. Some drivers accustomed to using frontage roads to dodge the traffic problems found it wasn't easy getting to Interstate 80 again at the Donner Lake interchange. This morning, Interstate 80 is open, and there is only about an inch of additional snow expected because that main storm system has basically moved east of the Sierra region, and it'll provide snow today across Montana and Wyoming, and eventually the snow will spread out across the plains into Nebraska and Iowa. Winter storm watches have been issued for northern Iowa. I-80, Interstate 35 will give you problems as the day unfolds. So if you have travel plans, say across Iowa, say Des Moines, Mason City northward, Omaha northward, snow could give you problems. In northeastern Nebraska, 3 to 6 inches are possible. Now this morning with the system over Montana, we have widespread light snow from Helena to Kalispell, even around Great Falls, and some light snow in Wyoming. And you notice the wet weather right along the west coast. This is mainly rain from the Seattle area and the Puget Sound southward near Astoria, Hoquiam, reporting some light rain, as is northern California. We cannot rule out maybe a sprinkle or two in San Diego and over to Phoenix today, but definitely a wet time of it as you travel, particularly Interstate 5 from California northward. In the higher terrain, say the Cascades, freezing levels are pretty high, but if you go high enough, you may find snow, 1 to 3 inch accumulations. And you can see right here with our stretch of snow pulling out into the plains, northeastern Nebraska. We think our targeted area for the heaviest snow today, 3 to 6 inches are possible, and eventually that will spread into the Chicago area as well as Milwaukee later tonight and tomorrow. Now you can see the orientation of our system right now. We do have a very windy scenario associated with it. Out ahead of it, winds generally out of the south, gusting to some 25 and 30 miles an hour. And as that southwesterly wind flow pulls northward, overruns some of the colder air, we talk about the snow, and with our low pressure moving in from the west, that will give enough lift in the atmosphere. And again,